Here we go, family. What's up? Welcome into Tony's NFL 2-minute drill, as we do every single Monday. Break down the Sunday that was in the NFL, preview a little bit of the Monday Night Football game. By the way, if you want to get right off the top, I gave you guys a cashed up, just automatic touchdown for last week, which was Travis Kelce anytime, and I gave you Travis Kelce first on top of that. Okay? So we're making money over here already on 2-minute drill. As you guys know, subscribe to the channel. It allows people to find out what I'm doing over here just solo. The last couple of weeks have been absolutely hectic. Had my brother's wedding. Shout out to him and Gabby. They're over in Spain on their honeymoon. Life has just been a little crazy, as you can tell with a baby. Want to get back to more regularly scheduled programming. Stream with Lewis, hopefully this week coming up. Maybe Wednesday, depending on his schedule. He's a diva. The guy always has something to do. He's always trying to figure something out. It's crazy. So all of those things will be later on in the week. A big announcement on the 16th. Massive announcement on the 16th. Obviously, it's football season, but basketball season nearing very, very, very quickly. Very quickly. And I've got some big news coming up with my partners at Beyond Media Group. We're going to have something really, really cool with a name that is going to be exciting. It's going to be like, oh, really? Okay, interesting. So we're going to be doing some cool stuff over there. I'll let you guys in on the secret coming up in, in 3 days. In 3 days' time, a new NBA show coming out with me and somebody very, very cool. So stay plugged for that. We'll talk about that on the 16th. Shows coming very soon. So that's going to be very fun. All right, let's get to the 2-minute drill. We've got the fastest 2 minutes, even faster than your wives. Okay, this is you with your wife. It's faster than that. Shout out to Brusco. Shout out to Stephen Price. Shout out to, let's see who's out there. Dat. Shout out to the boys. Shout out to Fat Punk Bastard. The boys. Wolfpack Love. What's up? Look it up. What's up? We got the whole team in here. Good to see everybody joining in. Make sure we'll do a little Q&A towards the back half. Obviously, we got first game of the Monday night doubleheader kicking off very soon, about 10 minutes ago, before I want to say Falcons-Bills first game on ESPN. So we'll be watching that one alongside of doing some of our normal stuff here on the 2-minute drill. And then we've got Commies-Bears later at 8. So the boys are going to be absolutely double streaming everything. Give me, you know what? I'm going to do something right off the top here. Give me QBs first, okay? I'm going to go Josh Allen first. I'm going to go Jaden Daniels first. Josh Allen first, Jaden Daniels first. I'm feeling nicey, boys. I'm feeling nicey. All right, 2-minute warning, fastest rapid fire rundown of the biggest situations and the biggest storylines from week 6 of the NFL. I want to start in a not obvious place, right? The obvious place to talk about the Chiefs and how they rolled over the Lions. I'm going to save that for a little bit later. I want to start with the Seahawks. And I don't know if it's a boring place to start, but it's a place to start for ball knowers and ball lovers, okay? The Seahawks were kind of left for dead earlier this season. And at the beginning of the season, their offensive line wasn't supposed to be great. We didn't really know what Sam Darnold was going to be. We liked Jackson Smith and Jigba. We didn't know how much of a wide receiver one he could be. There were flashes the last couple of years when he was able to kind of be the second fiddle to what DK Metcalf was doing. But I'm really, really surprised and really happy for what's going on in Seattle, because Sam Darnold, if they're going 14-3 with the Vikings, they ship him out of town and say, hey, buddy, listen, we got JJ McCarthy. We drafted him for a reason. We're not going to pay you $120 million or whatever the deal was he got with Seattle. See you later. We're going to send you out to the Pacific Northwest. Good luck. And Sam has been, if Baker is 1A on storylines for the season and how well he's playing, how far down is before we get to Sam Darnold, right? He's got to be top 5 in the storylines. I'd say it's him. It's Daniel Jones. Shout out to Cloud Fleet Creation, the boy. Like Sam Darnold's easily top 5 to 7 storylines of the NFL, how well he's playing and what a career pivot he's made in the last couple of seasons. But Seahawks go across the country, almost the longest flight you can take in the continental United States, and play a Jacksonville team that was at home. A bit of a short week because they played Monday night, but that's a smash spot for Jacksonville. You got a team from the West Coast coming over, playing the 1:00 game. You just beat the best team in the AFC for the last 10 years. And what are you guys going to do? You guys going to shit the bed? Or you guys going to play like a team that's 4-1 plays and beat Seattle in a very exciting game? And then we see the Jags do what the Jags do, which is miscommunications, drop passes, stupid penalties. The pass to Brian Thomas Jr., that Travis Hunter was standing on the line, even though there's a tight end on that side, and he was way past the line of scrimmage. It was like the things that usually the Jaguars do to lose games, and then they've won them this season. Everything kind of regressed to the mean, and they lost against a good Seahawks team. But Seahawks are balanced. They can run the ball with K9. They can run the ball with Zach Charbonnet. AJ Barner's been actually kind of a pleasant surprise for them when it comes to the tight end position. Elijah Arroyo's there, but Cooper Kupp hasn't really given it. It's just all Jackson Smith and Jigba. He's on pace for 2,000 yards this season. And I think Puka Nacua has probably been the best receiver in the league. And I think last week I said we should probably start talking about JSN as probably a top 10 to 12 receiver in the league. And it's like, if he's going to do this week in and week out, just toast people on the outside, and nobody's going to have an answer for him. Now I'm starting to etch him a little bit further down. Like, is he a top 7 receiver in the league? I know numerically and statistically he's top 3 right now, but we got to give, credit to the guys that are Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, like the big dogs. But damn, like JSN is right about there for, again, a team that nobody really had any hopes for. They thought maybe they'll middle around in 500. They're in a tough division with the 49ers. If they stay healthy, the Rams we liked. The Cardinals we knew were a fraud from the jump. But I really, really like the Seahawks. It's a fun team. Mike McDonald has the defense playing out of his mind. Okay, the defense is playing tough. They're playing complementary football. Jackson Smith and Jigba has, I think 11 or 12 plays of over 20 yards. That's playing complementary football. That's play action. That's Sam Darnold being able to fake the run, get the defense to draw into the line of scrimmage, and then pick apart over the top. And it's been beautiful to see. Beautiful. It's been beautiful to see. It's been amazing to see. And I'm just really happy about that. As a man of the shield. You guys know how I am. A man of the shield. I love watching all teams. And the Seahawks are probably the biggest surprise of the season in a winning perspective. Losing perspective, there's a lot of teams, Ravens, that we can talk about, and it's like kind of a surprise the opposite way. It feels like we say this every week, but Baker Mayfield just continues to play at a level. I mean, look, it's week 6. And yes, I have many different tickets of MVPs around in gambling, but I don't know a quarterback that's playing better than Baker Mayfield right now. There's nobody. And I said it last week, and it's just kind of a broken record. It's like he continues to do the things that elite quarterbacks do. The Josh Allens of the world, the Patrick Mahomes of the world, I don't care who's on my team gene, and it just kind of works, right? Brady, like Manning, like Drew Brees, like go down the list of guys that the rising tide lifted all boats, and Baker Mayfield's is in that conversation. Tez Johnson, Cameron Johnson, Sterling Shepard, Cade Otton, Rashad White. That's who he was throwing balls to. Like guys that were on the practice squad. Yet he's throwing 45-yard touchdowns, making clutch play after clutch play, the run on 3rd down to get a 1st down to extend the drive. Again, just otherworldly right now. And at some point, he's going to have that game where he can't pull the rabbit out of the hat. But let's just appreciate what he's doing and the skill that he has and the dog that he's got, because he's on a bit of a generational run for the first 6 weeks of being the baddest dude on the planet. That's just who he is right now. Like, that's who he is right now, and it's surprising. Surprising. We all knew he was good, but now it's like kind of the next level of, oh wow, he's that good. Okay, he's MVP through 6 weeks, kind of good. So that was a cool storyline. All right, now we'll get to the Chiefs. Chiefs look like they're back. And yes, I agreed with everything Dan had said on the show about the Chiefs offense being dink and dunk. I still don't think we're wrong on that. I still do. Like, if you really want to talk about the situation at hand, the take is not wrong. The take is not wrong. The Chiefs are not the high-flying offense that they were a couple of years ago. Statistically, you cannot argue that. Yeah, they went 15-1 and went to the Super Bowl. But the point is, they were not doing it the way they were doing it prior. 2 high safety shells have killed the NFL from a passing perspective, right? I don't think that's unfair to say. And I think that's being felt league-wide, right? These games of 400 yards. Do me a favor, outside of Russell Wilson, when was the last time that was there a 400-yard game? They used to fly out. 400-yard games used to be all the time. And now it's like, I don't know. Once in a while. The Chiefs take is not terrible. Are they still a great team? Are they still led by the best quarterback in the sport? Yes, of course. Fundamentally, they're not playing offense the way they were. I saw a lot of jet sweeps. I saw a lot of plays around the line of scrimmage. I saw very few bombs. The couple of bombs that they throw to Tyquan Thornton or whoever else is down there at some point. It's just not the same Chiefs team on offense. They do it more methodically. They do it more precise. It's more of a complimentary football team, even though they're not running the ball great too, which is weird. They just use the short passing game as an extension of the run game. But the Chiefs seem to be back after absolutely throttling the Lions. And Lions, I don't want to say they're on fraud alert right now, but they've played a couple of good teams. But when they play the really good teams, whether it be the Packers, who I could probably put them in the good to really good category, and the Chiefs, you can't take them out of that category until they prove otherwise. They've struggled. Offensively, they've struggled, and defensively, they've also struggled to stop the other team from scoring. So Lions are going to be up and down the season. We knew that with John Moore instead of Ben Johnson at the offensive coordinator position, and they're going to have to get back to their identity of running the football. And it felt like they kind of went away from that after they went down a little bit and got a little too cute. So I'm not super panicked on the Lions. I still think that they're a good enough team in an NFC that has become kind of a little bit more wide open as we've seen the Eagles go down in multiple games. A lot of injuries around the NFL and especially in the NFC. And it's like the Lions can kind of be average and above average in a lot of games and still be one of the better teams in the NFC. It's a weird parity season in the NFL where there's really no team that you look across and say, that's them. That's the team to beat in the NFL. It's usually the Chiefs. It's usually the Bills. It's usually the Ravens. It's usually the Niners. It's usually the Eagles. Like the track is flat right now for anybody and everyone to make a run in the NFL. Fourth story, Chargers pull out a last-minute win in Miami. Tua has comments throwing teammates and leadership under the bus. When you've got nothing, when you're 1-5, when you're trying to grasp at anything when it comes to leadership from a coaching perspective, from the front office perspective, from the ownership perspective, you start looking down the list and you're like, as a quarterback, right? You're like, damn, I didn't play my best. Threw 3 picks. Obviously, one of them was off of Waddle's hands into the defenders. But how many times can I come up and say it's my fault. We got to make the team, I got to make better things. I got to make better decisions. At a certain point, you just kind of flip and you're like, yeah, people aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing. The thing is, there's a reason why they pay you $225 million. There's a reason why you have one of 32 jobs in the world. There's a reason why the quarterback is seen as the extension of the coaching staff in the front office, because you got to eat shit. Because you got to eat shit when it comes to the media. If you have a personality, great. You're going to show your personality outside of football. Amazing. I love that. To show your personality inside of the press conference when you guys have lost 2 in a row, you're 1-5, and the team is going nowhere fast, and you decide to stand on a soapbox with thong sandals on and say, yeah, we got to be better as a team. We got to be better because people are missing players-only meetings. People are late to players-only meetings. It's like, man, how many times can you just say the wrong thing, right? You get paid to be boring. You get paid to be droning excellence. That's why you get paid that money. You get paid to cover CYA for your team and your coach. Cover your ass. Cover their ass, right? I'm sure there's a lot of people looking across being like, buddy, you're making $225 million. How many of you guaranteed 180 or whatever it ends up being? And you're talking about missing meetings, and how about winning games? Albeit he did have what would have been the game-winning drive, and the defense let him down. How many times are the Dolphins going to let up a game, have a game-winning drive, and then let up a game-winning drive? I like to do the numbers. I said on the show today, of the 1-15 record against winning teams that the Dolphins have, how many of those games did Tua bring them back to lead the game, but to then give it away on the defensive end? We'd have to do the math on that and see exactly who did what and what those games were. But I feel like that's there's more there than not. There's more there than not, I feel like. So the Chargers are going to do what the Chargers do. They always have that game where they pulled it out today or yesterday, but it's like they're always going to play down to their opponents. They're always going to have that game where you're looking at the scoreboard and you're watching on Red Zone and you're like, why are the Chargers down 10-6 in the third quarter and they haven't done anything on offense and they look terrible and Herbert looks like he can't play football? And then you look again and it's 24-6 and you're like, what happened? What happened here? Chargers just a confusing team. I thought after the first couple weeks, they were probably the best team in football. And now the Omarion Hampton injury is one that I'm worried about. They're saying that he might be out past his bye week. Again, running backs somewhat replaceable, but it just feels like they're a team that starts going and then slows down. They're the 2 steps forward, 2 steps back team where what do we make of you? You're gonna end up like 11-6 and then be the wild card because you don't win the division, and all of a sudden you're playing at Pittsburgh and then you get beat, and it's like what was this season really? Just another Chargers kind of laughable season where you lose in the wild card. I hope that's not the case. I like Justin Herbert. I like that team, but there's some sort of hex. I got to come up with the all cursed team right now in the running, number 1 all cursed team of all time. It feels like the San Francisco 49ers are there. It feels like San Francisco is the most cursed team on the planet, regardless of sport, regardless of anything. It's like they are just a mash unit. Isn't even the word. I feel like that's overplayed. Like that's also being too nice. Like they're like a COVID unit. They're like a I don't know. It's bad. It's bad. Last one here, the 2-minute warning. Usually I try to do this, 2 minutes each, but I have a lot to say, obviously. Drake Maye starting to figure it out. Drake Maye starting to look comfortable at that quarterback position. Josh McDaniels has allowed him to flourish in a way that has been using his skill set to get outside of the pocket in a very fun way. I think their offensive line needs a lot of help. I think tight end wise, Hunter Henry and Austin Hooper are not the answer, obviously. I think running the ball, they're having big time problems. I think I saw they were like 31st in rush rate. Not good. Their skill positions players on the outside, okay. Keyshawn Booty, okay. Stephon Diggs when he wants to play every third game, okay. Who else is there? Whoever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It just feels like there's really nobody there. And Drake Maye is doing a lot of really good stuff. And he's getting into that territory of like, all right, let's this is a guy that is showing big time promise. And if they surround him with a couple of dudes, like I said last week, if they surround him with an AJ Brown type, with an alpha X receiver type, that could be a very interesting combination for Drake Maye. So he's starting to figure it out. I like what's going on there in New England. I think the game has kicked off. Let's take a look. 7:15 first kick tonight. So we're about 5 minutes away from first kick. Let's do really quick. We'll take questions in a second. Let's do hold up. Let's do hold up. All right, let's do a little panic meter. Let's do a little panic meter. And I'm going to bring up some teams that I'm a little worried about. And I'll give you the number for them. All right, let's start with the Philadelphia Eagles. Lost 2 games in a row. Got beat by the Broncos at home when they had a lead. And got destroyed on Thursday night by Jackson Dart and Cam Scattaboo. There's a lot of flux inside the Eagles locker room. I'm giving the Eagles right now the panic meter. Again, you're talking about a team that won 20 of 21 games at one point. I'm going to give the panic meter about a 6, right? And we're talking about a halfway mark. We're a little past the halfway mark on the panic meter from 1 to 10. And I think it's at a 6 right now. It has cause for concern. I still think that they're offensively a good team. I think they need to run the ball a little bit more. I don't know what's going on with Saquon's health. Defensively, the pieces are there. I know Quinyon Mitchell hurt his hamstring or his quad. He may be out, but there's pieces on both sides of the ball to make another Super Bowl run. Jalen Hurts needs to be better, flat out. And you guys know I'm a big Jalen Hurts fan. He needs to be better. The offense needs to be better. You got 2 really good wide receivers. You got a great tight end. You got a great running back. There's no reason why you should be scoring 17 points a game. There's no reason why there should not be a completed pass in the second half of a game. A completed pass, a screen pass, a shovel pass. Like there's no reason that should be happening. So I'm a little worried, probably more worried than not about what's going on in Philly. I'm going to put panic meter there at 6. Let's go to Baltimore. I think the panic meter is 8.5. I said that, look, at some point they're going to right the ship. I still think they're going to, I said at one point, I think they're going to win the division. Right now at 1-5, are they 1-5 or 1-4? 1-5. 1-5. It just feels to me like they're digging themselves a hole that they are not going to be able to get out of. And at 1-5, even if Lamar comes back, you're looking at a massive uphill climb just to get to 500. So my panic meter is at a 8.5 all-time high for Baltimore, who I thought could be a contender for the Super Bowl at the beginning of the season. And now through 6 games, they're looking like a team that might be vying for the number 1 pick. How? How did things go so off the rails? I know injuries obviously play a massive part, but damn, like things are bad. 49ers are the most injured team in the NFL, and they're 4-2. So it's like, I know injuries suck, but next man up. Let's get the coaches developing guys on the back end of the roster, because This is insane for Baltimore. So 8.5 for Baltimore. Really don't like what I'm seeing over there. Let's go to the Jaguars. Panic meter. I'm gonna be at a 4 right now. There's a lot of things happening in Jacksonville that give me cause for concern. Penalties, stupid penalties, the inability to run the football against good teams. Trevor Lawrence making boneheaded plays, delay of game penalties, throwing the ball past the line of scrimmage, like reads that seem to not be, the quarterback and receiver seem to not be on the same page. All those things are habits and traits of bad teams. Bad teams have those traits. Bad teams give up a lot of penalties. Bad teams get delay of games. They're not prepared. Wide receivers aren't catching the ball. Your draft picks aren't playing. Travis Hunter plays a little bit more than I do. At some point, they have to right all these wrongs if they want to be a contending team in the AFC. Not just, oh, look at the Jags are nice. They're going to go 9-8 and they'll maybe win the division that's terrible because the Texans and the Titans are not good. I'm not super panicked yet, but I'm getting to the point where if they don't fix what's going on in Jacksonville, things can go south quickly. They can go AFC South quickly. Okay, so I'm gonna go with a 4 on the panic meter there. Dallas after a loss. When I said that Dallas isn't dead last week, they go out and let Rico Dowdle have 235 yards from scrimmage and a touchdown in a revenge game. In a game that they should have won because they've got a bunch of tough games coming out. A bunch of tough games. And they do that. And it's like, I don't know who they already got rid of Micah Parsons. I know CeeDee's been hurt. Guys are already paid. If I was Brian Schottenheimer, I'd be a little worried. I don't know how long of a leash Jerry is going to have if things are continuing to go the way that they're going. I'd say the panic meter for the Cowboys right now at a 7. Out of 7. You get a new coach, supposed to install a fresh offense. You're going to be throwing the ball, and you can't stop anybody on defense. The Panthers score 30 on you. Rico Dowdle, who you let go of, had 235 yards for the second week in a row. You're having trouble running the ball. Javonte Williams has had a nice season thus far, but you've had trouble running the ball for the last couple of years. Rico Dowdle, who you let go, has had back-to-back games of 200 yards. Tony Pollard has been solid for the Titans. You start looking at all the pieces, and you're like, where do they win? How do they do this? And they just continue to lose. And it's like, we just saw Bill Callahan be fired. He just had the number 1 pick in Cam Ward. That's now gone off the rails. And now they're looking. I saw a report. I'm trying to think of who it was. They're saying that Arthur Smith or Matt Nagy might be in play for the coach position. I'm like, oh my God. How many times can these men bilk billionaires out of millions to be average? How many times, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, how many times can we see the Arthur Smith experience lead to nothing but turmoil and heartbreak and a big-ass check? How many times can we see Matt Nagy on the sideline with his bald head look confused and why the offense looks terrible? How many millions will they pay? I feel like, how many millions? Where are the fresh young coordinators? Where are the guys that are dynamic? Where are the Shanahans, the McVays, the McDaniels? Where are all the coaches, the Kevin O'Connells? Where are those guys? Where are the Liam Cohens? Where are they? Where's the next crop of offensive-minded geniuses that are going to take the league to the next level? You cannot give Cam Ward Arthur Smith. You cannot give Cam Ward Matt Nagy. The proof is in the pudding. These guys suck. They're not good. Anyways, sorry. Didn't think that was going to turn into a Titans conversation, but I saw that they let go of Bill Callahan. And I was like, this is just a PSA for everybody. All right, game kicking off here on Monday night, first game, Bills and Falcons. One more panic meter. Let's go with the Lions. Last one. I'm gonna give the Lions a 4 right now on the panic meter. I'm not terribly concerned. I still think they have pieces defensively. They're a little hurt, so that's gonna be something to watch. But they need to play well against good teams. They need to play well against good teams. Hold on. Wait, listen to this. Hey, I'm on stream right now. You're on speaker on stream.
Hey, I'm calling you about MMA hangout stuff.
Wow, buddy. Okay, I'm doing Tony's NFL 2-minute drill. Do you have a first or anytime touchdown for the games tonight for the listeners right now?
Let me think. Okay, anytime touchdown.
You got to be quick.
Anytime. You know what? Anytime, Bill.
Okay.
Bill.
Okay. Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt anytime. Okay.
Who they playing? Chicago Bears, right?
Yeah.
Who's the only person who can score on that dreadful team?
I gave. Okay. So you want to do a Dunze anytime, Bill anytime.
Those are my 2 picks. So give me 2
wow.
picks. You know, I get froggy. I get crazy.
Wow.
I need 2 anytime, and a sneaky. Actually, no. Let me not do that. I'm overplaying my hand. Those are my 2 picks.
Okay, so a Dunze anytime and Bill anytime.
Yes, sir. Just text me when you know your stream.
Okay, what I gave was Josh anytime, Jaden Daniels anytime.
Yeah, he's gonna run one in, dude.
So that's what I'm going. The chat loves you. We have to do our stream Wednesday. I told the people Wednesday.
Yes.
Okay. All right. You guys, chat, hold him to it because then he disappears on me, and then I call him 9 times at 9:30, and he's gone.
I'm always doing.
So am I. My kid's screaming in the background. Okay. I'll call you back. Bye. All right. As you can see, life is crazy. We have 2 games tonight. We've got baseball games. We got hockey. We've got NBA. We've got the quad box. We got the penta box. We got everything. Okay. We've got a lot of sports. We're very excited for everything going on. Thank you to everybody that listened. We'll be back with another episode of 10-Day Tony Show proper on Wednesday with Lewis. The stream is going to be bumping. So make sure you're plugged in Wednesday night around, let's say 9:30 Wednesday night, me and Lewis getting back on the sticks and making it do what it do. But appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Thank you so much for the support you guys give me. It truly is felt. Thank you for everybody in the chat. Brusco, Cloudfleet, Fat Punk Bastard, Dat. Who else is there? KN1, kind of an arch enemy of mine, but I still love him. Look it up. The whole team out there. Thank you everybody for supporting. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you put out some feelers out there. Let people know what we're doing over here on at 10-Day Tony. The 16th, big news. Big news the 16th. I'll let you guys know very soon, but it's NBA related. Former player and I are going to get together to do a new show on Beyond Media Group. So that'll be super fun. We'll talk Wednesday. Peace.